order. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, City of Southfield. Glad to be here this evening. Want to welcome our two new council members once again, Ms. Banks and Mr. Hoskins. Glad to have them here with us today. And so we'll move right on into our meeting this evening. First, we have a presentation by our mayor, actually a joint presentation or resolution for the Southfield Small Business Saturday. And then that'll be followed by an appointment to the Historic District Commission of Patricia McLaurin.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
We have a number of many small businesses in our community. We frequently think of the big names that are on buildings, but up and down our major thoroughfares, we have many, many small businesses. And so there is an effort across the United States to promote small businesses, especially as we know we're coming up on Black Friday and the holiday gift-giving, gift shopping season. So we have a resolution today on Small Business Saturday in the city of Southfield, November 30th, 2019, whereas the One-Stop Shop Business Center of Oakland County was created to help communities attract, grow, and retain businesses in Oakland County. And whereas in 2016, the One-Stop Business Center launched Small Business Saturday, a program focused on helping small businesses increase foot traffic and sales as the holiday shopping season begins. Whereas Small Business Saturday is a contest with cash prizes awarded to Oakland County small business owners for registering with the contest, and to shoppers who shop in Small Business Saturday. Whereas for this contest, small business is defined as independently owned and operated legal brick and mortar business located in Oakland County. And whereas on Saturday, November 30th, individuals who shop at registered small businesses will be eligible to win one of three prizes sponsored by Shop Loyal. For first place, $5,000. Bank of Ann Arbor, second place, $2,000. And Imagine, third place for $1,000. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council, city of Southfield, hereby join Oakland County Small Business Saturday in support of Southfield's small businesses. Be it further resolved that we, the mayor and council, city of Southfield, Oakland County of Oakland, state of Michigan, do hereby declare Saturday, November 30th, 2019 as Small Business Saturday in the city of Southfield.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes, Mr. Mandelbaum.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the joint resolution.
Support.
Been moved by Mr. Mandelbaum and supported by Ms. Taylor that we approve the joint resolution for Small Business Saturday in the city of Southfield. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, resolution is approved.
Thank you, and we're working with the Southfield Chamber of Commerce on this initiative as well.
Thank you.
And if I may proceed,
Yes, sir.
I have one appointment this evening. I'd like to ask Pat McLemore to come forward. And Ms. McLemore has served on the Historic District Commission, and her term has expired, and I'm asking council approval to reappoint her to this post.
Okay. Council?
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
I'd
Mandelbaum?
like to move the reappointment of Patricia McLemore to the Historic District Commission.
Support.
Been moved by Mr. Mandelbaum, supported by Ms. Morris, that we approve the reappointment to the Historic District Commission of Ms. Patrick McLemore. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any
Patricia.
opposed?
Patricia.
Oh, I'm sorry, Patricia. I'm sorry about that, thank you. All right. Madam Clerk?
Did you vote?
Hmm?
Did you vote? Oh,
Yes.
Yep. Sorry. If you raise your right hand for me, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the state, and the Charter of the City of Southfield, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Historic District Commissioner to the best of my ability. Just right here.
Let's give her a hand. And if you wouldn't mind coming up, we'd all like to congratulate you personally. Council, we have 4 meeting minutes to approve.
Mr. Chair,
Did you just call me madam?
I'm next to all these pretty women. I'm having a problem
Yes, Mr.
here.
Brightwell.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes as identified. The regular meeting minutes of October 21, 2019. The regular meeting minutes of October 28, 2019. The committee of the whole meeting minutes of November 8, 2019. And the regular meeting minutes of November 18, 2019. And also the minutes as corrected.
Support.
Yep. All right, been moved by Mr. Brightwell, supported by Ms. Taylor, that we approve the meeting minutes, the regular meeting minutes of October 21st and 28th, committee of the whole meeting minutes of November 8th, and the regular meeting minutes of November 18th. Are there any questions or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
No, but I'd like to abstain from the first 3 sets as I was not on council at that time, and I will approve the regular meeting minutes of November 18th, 2019 as corrected.
All right, duly noted.
Thank you.
All right, we have a number of consent agenda items
Mr.
to be
Chair?
approved.
I'd like to move the approval of consent agenda items A through Q.
Support.
Been moved by Mr. Mandelbaum and supported by Mr. Brightwell that we approve consent agenda items A through Q. Are there any questions or comments or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Consent agenda items are approved. We'll now move to public hearings. Mr. Crowe?
Through the chair, PSLU 19-0008, a special use request of Mr. Thomas Menino for the use of an existing barn as a small event venue on property located at 23410 West 12 Mile Road. We are asking that the council postpone to a date certain of December 16th. All the required information hadn't been submitted at the time we were preparing for this meeting. It has now since been submitted, so we're asking that it be postponed to December 16th.
That sounds fine to me, unless council has any other concerns. Would that also involve moving on the site plan as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So want to
Madam
do those
Clerk,
separately or
do we need to vote on
together?
that, or can we just do a consensus to just move that to another date?
I think we need a vote because it's been publicized.
Okay. All right. So we'll go back to the public hearing portion first. There's been a request by the city planner that we move the public hearing of PSLU 19-008 to a date certain of December, what was it?
16th.
16th? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right.
And the same with site plan PSP 19-0008, site plan review request of Mr. Thomas Menino for use of an existing barn as a small event venue with associated parking and other on-site amenities on property located at 23410 West 12 Mile Road. Recommend postponement to a date certain of December 16, 2019.
Mr. President, we just need to go back. We did not get a move in support for the postponement of the public hearing. We just said all in favor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would support the chair's,
Well, we'll take. we'll just
We need a
take-
motion.
Make the motion and we'll.
well, I'll make a
take this.
motion that we change the public hearing to a date certain of December 16, 2019.
Support.
All right, it's been moved by Mr. Brightwell, supported by Mr. Mandelbaum, that we, again, move the public hearing PSLU 19008 to a date certain of December 16th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk.
Now, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we postpone the site plan review, PSP 190008, to December 16, 2019.
Support.
All right, been moved by Ms. Morris, supported by Ms. Taylor, that we move the site plan PSP 19-0008 to a date certain of December 16th. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, then it's approved. We'll now move to the communications portion of our meeting. Our first request for recognition is Pamela Gerald. Our next request for recognition is Gerard Mullen. Our next request for recognition is Yolanda Smith Charles.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have to, I guess, address for the record or anything of that nature? No? Okay. I was very glad that the mayor reached out to me on this topic so that I don't belabor you or your time. However, I did feel it was appropriate, just sometimes the community should know when residents aren't necessarily happy when certain things are happening. And so I'm here today just to state my displeasement with the tendency to embark on construction projects late into the fall, particularly late into November. I was going to come before you thinking that it was a Southfield problem. Having driven around many parts of Logan County, I can attest that it is happening in other communities. So I just wanted to, if nothing else, encourage this esteemed body to always advocate for appropriate timing for construction on our highways and byways, and particularly the ones that seem to be important thoroughfares for our community in particular. And I'm speaking in chance to Southfield and 10 Mile Road. So thank you. I yield my time.
All right, thank you, Ms. Charles. And just for the record, just know that, 10 Mile happens to be a county road. So,
I neglected that in my statement.
even though we did chip in to pay for the construction to be done because we wanted to serve our citizens well, of course, you included, but yes, I certainly understand we are dealing with the same concerns as well.
Thank you.
All right, but thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. All right. Our next request for recognition is Aubriana Pinkett. Okay. Next request for recognition is Miss Stacy Jackson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Stacy Jackson, 21685 Rougewood Drive, Southfield, Michigan, 48033. I actually did not have anything prepared to say today. I normally just come here and speak from the heart and the mind, and right now my spirit is elated to see the woman seated to my left. I am proud to see our clerk here with us tonight, and I could not go without saying we support you. I'm sorry. Having said that, it's been well over 365 days since I first came before this council, and at least one of the newly elected city council people I have spoken with directly in regards to the septic tank situation. I am still trying to see when the city's going to come together and mobilize to do something to help the residents who have been adversely affected by this. We know that Southfield dropped the ball on it. We know that there has been selective enforcement on it. We know that there are still things that are happening across the city that are selective in its enforcement. In regards to septic tanks, I am curious to know why there are certain communities and homes that are still on septic tanks that have had their properties reassessed for lower property taxes because it is on a septic tank. When the city assessors did this, you would think they would know that this is already adversely affecting other homeowners on septic tanks. It should have been made across the board to all homeowners to benefit from lower property taxes because they're on septic tanks. Quite frankly, the sheer fact that the assessor's department has awarded certain communities and properties to be on septic tanks to have lower property taxes means that those homes 20 years ago should have been reassessed because they were connected to septic tanks, which means that the homeowners that I come here to represent not only paid and bought for homes that were on septic tanks on an ordinance that was not enforced, but we purchased those homes that were overpriced, overassessed. And then in so doing, if you lower those, we are now stuck with a purchase that is $20,000, $30,000 less than what we purchased it for. The city really needs to think about how it solves its problems, as opposed to simply fixing a problem when there's only one person being a squeaky wheel or one community being a squeaky wheel, as opposed to making it across the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next request for recognition is Keith Harris.
How you doing today? All Race and Life Matter, P.O. Box 2769, 48076. You know, the only time I hear the word black is after Thanksgiving. And that bothers me. That truly bothers me. We got a Black Friday, but we don't have any other black day. I sit back here and I look at the black people make up the revenue of this city by being overcharged, over-prosecuted, over-fined. Same thing with what my wonderful woman said about the assessments. You know, I'm just so tired of hearing the word inclusive when we know we're not included. I'm so tired of hearing the word diversity when we know we still not included. I know Jeremy Moss, he takes the easy way out of everything he do. And I watched Jeremy Moss on television a couple of times this week on Channel 15 speaking about how important it is to be Jewish. Not one time have I seen a black man on there expressing how important it is to be black and struggling being black. Having our rights taken away from us, being black. See, I'm letting you know, a black agenda is coming. And along with that black agenda that's coming, if you don't move out my way, our way, you're going to have a hard time. I'm tired of being not included. I'm tired of my people being mistreated in Southfield. And the only thing we've been done is arrested. We supply revenue to this city, but we have no words in this city. At least our words ain't heard. I say to you, get ready. I just left a big meeting in Detroit about this same issue. And believe me, the storm is coming. We're not going to just let the Jews have their separate this and we don't have nothing of our own. And every time we look around, our homes being destroyed. The best thing that I've heard today was a black investor trying to buy homes. But how do you keep black people in their homes? I'm asking you people, get ready, because if you don't, Southfield going to have a problem.
Our next request for recognition is Sonia Simpson Gardner. Our next request for recognition is Maceo Rhodes. Our next request for recognition is Lewis Williams.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The city, Lewis Williams, the council is well aware that I'm opposed to the sale of any part of Northland to a marijuana grow business for the purpose of selling medical marijuana. I'd like to restate some of the reasons for my opposition to this plan. For one thing, there's a lot of opposition in the community to this happening. I think that was evidenced by a recent council meeting where you had such a large number of community persons and religious leaders coming and expressing their opposition. Not everybody comes as often as I do to express their concern, but I can assure you that there's a lot of opposition to this plan. I think most of you realize that. You might not want to face it or accept it, but I think most of you realize that there's a lot of community opposition to this plan. And I still say that if it's such a great idea, why don't they take this to one of the other communities? Like Farmington Hills, like Birmingham, or Bloomfield Hills. I don't hear anything about them clamoring to have this marijuana grow business brought to their communities. Again, I say we don't want it here. I think most of the community feels this way. There's also a concern about potential increase in crime when you bring this to our community. Also, property values. There's a genuine concern about the impact that this would have on property values. We don't want people to say, if you want some marijuana, get you a fake medical marijuana card and go to Southfield. Some people call Southfield the family city, the all-American city. We don't want it to be called the marijuana city. So I ask that the council search your souls and reconsider this plan of bringing all of these marijuana enterprises to our city. I think it would be negative. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last request for recognition is Mr. Greg Keeler.
Greg Keeler, Circle Drive. As I come in for these communication periods, there has been 3 times I've been attacked, personally, with my name said. But on this thing it says council people. It doesn't say people on this side of the lecture. So why isn't that respect reciprocal? You say if you want us to shut up or be quiet. That sounds like control. Why isn't it the same thing on that side when you're saying my name or using my name? I spoke to the mayor once about this, but I didn't hear, Mr. President, you shut down the conversation. But at the same time, while he was saying my name, he said y'all were unable to drink out of y'all cups or cups of water. Here's some sippy cups, so y'all won't spill your water, since you didn't stop him from saying what he had to say about me. This thing should be changed here. It should be more reciprocal, more respect towards us as well. Today you just had a thing brought up to you by a builder who said there was a problem with building because he had to go to get a sewer line. How much money it would cost to have that sewer line placed in there, how you couldn't sell the property because of a no sewer line. I think that's what I've been saying for years about my property. My property taxes should probably be at 0 since it can't be resold because there's no sewer line there because it's been stuck down. And Toby Rhodes wasn't wrong when he comes here and he fusses about certain things. That the respect you ask for up there, you don't give to this side of the podium. And it should be the same thing. Another thing, the day y'all had the 2 members came on here, the inaugural or the banquet out in the hallway over there, I went over there to get me some brownies. And the brownies were for special people. And I couldn't have none. So I'm trying to figure out how is somebody that's younger than me telling me as a grown man, I can't have brownies that don't have peanuts on it. So I had to look at that person and say, okay, so you're telling me I gotta eat peanuts if I have a peanut allergy? I gotta eat peanuts if I don't like peanuts? I think that'll be an easy lawsuit you will lose, and you can ask your lawyer. And she had to think about that. And the only thing I can think of, the reason why you came there to tell me I had to eat these other ones, and they were chosen for special people, maybe because I don't fit the complexion of who was supposed to be able to eat the brownies. And I think that's just a shame. I should be able to eat whatever I want to eat. I should not have to be questioned by somebody younger than me about eating that. If this was a thing about all of us getting together, greeting each other, and meeting each other, I should have had that freedom. I should not have had that type of action happen to me. And it's not a single one. It's the same thing as I look at when I look at the septic tank. It's the same thing. Constant. With no ending. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll now move on to our council portion of the meeting. I did add one item on here to discuss, or I really didn't want to discuss the committee appointments, but I know I haven't sent them out yet. They will be coming out tomorrow. But Councilwoman Morris did want to speak to the appointments and what we plan to do, I guess, moving forward as it relates to our committees.
Yes, we, Council President Cruz and I had talked about doing some new things in the upcoming year, and I know many of the council members have expressed having interest in having things put on the agenda. There are certain things that you want to get accomplished, and so we talked about doing a monthly call for agenda items from council members if they want to have different things discussed, where we would get send out an email to you guys and do a monthly call for agenda items, and then you let me know any topics that you have. We've already spoken with City Administrator Fred Zorn, and he's willing to try to see how he can get those items put on the agenda as such.
And also, when you receive your, we'll send it by email and part of your packet for the week, but the chairs of the various committees will be asking for maybe bi-monthly reports, just updates. I don't want to make this something into, where you got to type up some formal letter, this, that, and the other, but when we get to the council portion, it'd be nice. And if there's nothing that has transpired during that time period, that's fine. Just if there is, though, I think just to keep us all up to date on what's going on, I think that would be a very important aspect of our meeting, so that we're just not, necessarily just making announcements during the meeting. And I'm not picking on you, Ari. I'm not, not at all. I'm just saying we were just talking about how we thought it would make the council stronger and more informed. And so we'll be doing that as well. And so, like I said, we'll get the email out to everyone tomorrow on the appointments, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions or concerns? Mr. Brightwell.
Well, I think that's a good idea that you guys just, with respect to reports with respect to the accomplishments or what the various committees are doing. That sounds excellent, brother. And it'll be beneficial to council people and also to the citizens. I will move on to my little announcement.
Go right ahead.
This is for all my veterans, and obviously, everyone listening in might not be a veteran, but the info that I transfer is useful for veterans. You might have so pass it on. You might have a friend, a relative, a neighbor, someone that the VA is doing quite a few things. And what I've been doing for the last few months is just announcing some of the things that are improving the VA. The VA is coming out with, you can get medical service from community providers. Currently, and I've announced before, that in an emergency, you can obviously go to the local hospital and also the local urgent care. The VA will pay for that. But the VA just recently come out with another program. You can, as opposed to, this is to improve the wait time for vets. As we know, a few years back, there was severe wait time for veterans. But now the VA is coming out with community providers. And you can attend those, visit those community providers, and the VA will pay for those. Now, you obviously have to be a registered veteran with the VA. And these individuals who are doing the providing, they have to be approved by the VA. You can't just go to anybody and expect the VA to pay for that. So, but if you're a veteran and you're a friend of a vet or a family member, to find out who are the community providers in your area, you can just go and search by zip code and various other parameters. But please go to www.va.gov/find locations, and that will give you who are the community health providers that are authorized in your area code. I just did a search today. There were 21 community providers within the 48076 zip code, so they're plentiful. The main thing is that for all vets, and whenever we have put on seminars, just share the information that you might hear tonight, because you might not be a veteran, but I'm sure you might know a vet. So this info will be also out in the book rack, just at our receptionist desk, and all the other info that I provided with respect to changes that the VA is making. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brightwell. Mr. Taylor?
Yes. I also like the idea of the reports coming in from the committees, but I would like to add, Mr. President and Council Pro Tem, if we could also include a report from our city administrator. I've asked before, and he is willing to provide us with something, but if we could do that and just put it on the agenda under his portion so that we would know what's going on in and around the city on a regular basis, because there's a lot of things that he's doing, but we don't find out about it. So that would be a good way to have that.
Sounds good.
And I'd also
just made a note of it. So
okay, thank you. And also, if the clerk wouldn't mind bringing back the little notes of reminder things of what we were working on, the things that for future reports back from the different departments that we ask, and they say, yes, we'll bring this information back to you. At one time, we were doing that.
It's on here. Future items.
Yes.
It's
Under-
on there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then I'd like to take the time to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and happy holiday season. Please make it safe and enjoy your families. Thank you.
Yep, and that's, thank you, Ms. Taylor, because that is something that we did bring back around, the future items to be discussed. I think that's just a good way to keep us all accountable for what we need to be doing. And
Thank
you. So we will be definitely doing that moving forward for this year as well.
Thank you.
Ms. Morse?
Yes. Last week, I attended a meeting where John Dingman, he's the Director of Community Partnerships and Post-Secondary Options for Southfield Public Schools, and he shared information with us about a program that they recently launched at Stevenson Elementary called Blessings in a Backpack, and I thought it'd be a good idea to just share this information tonight. We know that healthy and well-nourished students learn better and are more likely to attend school and get improved test scores when they are eating. More and more, though, many students leave school on Friday and don't have enough food to eat throughout the weekend. Blessings in a Backpack is a program where backpacks are packed with food like macaroni and cheese, beef ravioli, canned chicken, canned tuna, granola bars, peanut butter, soups, juice, and other items. They take them on Friday, then they're returned to school on Monday, and then packed back up again. Every $100 raised provides a hunger insecure child a field backpack for the entire school year. I believe this is a great program being offered by Southfield Public Schools, and if you want to make a donation, you can write a check to Blessings in a Backpack Southfield and mail it to their address, 303 East Street, Rochester, Michigan, 48307. Or if you just want to learn more about the program, you can visit their website, blessingsinabagpackmi.org. Their contact number is 248-221-7749. Finally, I too want to wish everyone a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving. The Bible says in all things we should give thanks, and I am very thankful and grateful for what God has done for me and my family. So wonderful Thanksgiving to everyone. Thank you.
Very good. Mr. Mandelbaum?
Thank you. Next week on Tuesday, December 3rd, there's going to be the Berg tree lighting at the Berg Park at the corner of Civic Center and Berg at 6:30. After the tree lighting, there'll be opportunities to drink hot cocoa, have snacks, and have visits with Santa. So it's always a great family fun event, and I hope everyone can attend. I also wanted to follow up on an item that we had maybe a couple months ago, that was the Lasser Road Mikvah that came before us, and they're moving ahead with their project, but one of the things that they said why they needed it was to help recruit families into Southfield. This past weekend, there was a group of Southfield residents who went to New York to the Orthodox Union Community Fair, and I'll be sharing this information with council and administration, but it was on the news. It was a big fair in New York where people who are looking to move outside of the city meet with various other city representatives, and we had a nice contingency from Southfield. They had a lot of nice brochures that our community relations department provided, and they were able to, they got a lot of interested families looking to move to Southfield, so it did help in their recruiting efforts. So I just wanted to pass that along to make sure that everyone knew that they weren't, it wasn't just lip service, but they are using that as an active recruiting tool. And I too just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything from our newbies down here? Yes, Ms. Banks.
Thank you. I think the suggestions about anything that we would like to place on the agenda is an excellent one. Thank you. And at this time, I would also like to wish everyone a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family, friends, and loved ones, and also be safe. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Hoskins.
Yeah, and just echoing everything that my colleague said, I mean, too think that it's a great idea to be doing the monthly reports, making sure we're all kept up to date on everything. And I too want to wish everybody a very safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes, Mr. Brightwell.
Although I address vets, I want to address the entire universe. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Well, of course, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving as well. And just let me know what time dinner is, because I'm open to all invitations this year. Just two more things real quick before we go to Mr. Mayor. One thing I want council just to consider for our next meeting is to talk about when we want to plan our retreat for this year. I'd like to do it in January, if possible. I think Ms. Morris and I have talked about it. I think what our intentions are to pull up all of the items that we went through in our last retreat, assess those, and then put timelines around those in terms of what we did, and then what we still need to do, and so forth. So again, we just have a plan moving forward for the next year. The next one is one that I think our clerk will be very happy to hear, is about going paperless in terms of our packets. I think it's time. So as the city, many may see, we have 3 council members with tablets here.
I will also be once I get mine up and running.
We all have them, and we're all going to start using them, and we're going to save money and time as it relates to paper and you know, environmental type issues, and so that's going to be our new thing. So I don't think we're just up here playing on games or looking on Facebook while we're in the meetings. We're actually, this is where we want to move. It's time. It's just time for us to move forward. So I just want to throw those 2 things out as well.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, council? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Banks.
Is it possible that you could submit 2 or 3 dates that you're looking at, instead of saying just, we'd like to have it in January? Or is there a certain day of the week, or, I mean?
I would say either the 3rd or 4th Friday in January.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other comments from council? All right, Mr. Mayor?
Okay. Thank you. The Southfield Sun came out last week, and I want to restate that we are looking, we have one more day of the big rake. However, if you have a group that wants to come at any time other than a Saturday, the next big rake is scheduled for December 7th. That'll be the last for the season. We have more people who have requested help than we have volunteers, so we're continuing to look for individuals, groups. This last Saturday we had New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, the mentoring group, Young Men's Mentoring Group out, as well as teams from Lawrence Tech. The headline is a little misleading in that we're not looking for volunteers for snow shoveling, because that's something we don't do. What we're looking for are companies that might be interested in doing residential driveway and sidewalk clearing. We've had, since the big snow of November 11th, we've had my office and the Human Services Office has been inundated with requests for help in snow shoveling. So we're looking for volunteers. We're not taking any more big rake requests, as I'm afraid we don't have the volunteers to fill the requests. Should that change, we'll put another word out. The other thing, speaking of the holidays, and I would be remiss if I didn't wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving as well, but on Monday, This Monday is December 1st, I think, second, thank you. December 2nd is our Southfield Goodfellows. We'll be out on the streets as well as in office buildings and around the city. It's the Goodfellows annual drive for, they sell the newspapers for donations to provide Southfield families with food at the holidays, as well as toys and things like mittens and hats for children in our needy families. So I want to remind everybody we'll be out doing the Goodfellows Drive on Monday morning after Thanksgiving, and please give. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anything from administration?
Thank you. Nothing at this time.
Thank you, sir. Anything from the attorney's office?
Nothing from the attorney's office.
All right, very good. Anything from the clerk's office? All right. Is our treasurer, planner, assessor, or engineer here? I don't believe so.
The plan?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's already fussing at me in his head anyway. Mr. Crowe, you got anything?
I wish you a happy Thanksgiving as well.
Thanks. And you as well, sir. All right. Oh, here comes the treasurer. Okay. Very good.
I just wanted to also wish all the residents and all the elected officials a happy Thanksgiving as well on behalf of the Treasurer's Office. We will also be mailing out our winter tax bills on December 1st. So I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
We have a lot to give thanks for, but that's part of our holiday season cheer that we have to pass the plate around. So please keep an eye out for it. If you did not get your tax bill by the second week of December, please contact the Treasurer's Office, and we'll be happy to have another one sent out, as well as also the information is available online, taxes.cityofsouthfield.com. So thank you very much.
All right,
Happy
thank
holidays.
you, Mr. Lowenberg. All right. I don't think we have anything scheduled tonight. Like I said, when we come to our next meeting, which will be December 9th, we'll schedule our retreat at that point officially. We don't have any ordinances to approve. Does anyone have anything else for the good of the order? Otherwise, meeting adjourned.